interest rates to its lowest recorded. Of course, with all these going on in the global setting, we also expect a downturn in the Philippine economy. From unexpected 6.1% growth for 2020, the country is only expected to grow 0.6% by the IMF. The good news is it still is a positive number. IMF forecasts the economy to recover 7.6% in 2021, aided by a combination of support from the government and lowered interest rates. Early this week, the benchmark 10-year borrowing rate has declined to 3.7%, meaning the government can borrow funds for 10 years at this level. Also, depending on the quality of the borrower, this is the basis of borrowing from banks in order to support production and consumer spending. A is for abnormal times. And as we've heard a million times already, we are experiencing unprecedented times. Some of you may have heard the term Black Swan in the local movie Sid and Aya. Black Swan is a theory discussed by Nassim Taleb for an event that is highly improbable, yet has potentially severe consequences. There have been arguments for and against COVID to be a black swan. Some views point out that actually we saw it coming. According to the IMF, COVID-19 is first and foremost a health emergency. It is a global crisis in public health. Most of the previous crises we have experienced in our lifetimes are financial in nature, wherein it was caused by a blow-up in losses coming from financial activities, such as the global financial crisis of 2008. The global financial crisis, or GFC, was a financial crisis that led to a major economic downturn. COVID-19 is a health crisis with financial consequences that leads to a major economic downturn. The good thing is, the banking sector is in a much better shape now than where it was prior to 2008. COVID-19 may or may not be a black swan, but it surely will cause economic contraction in 2020. Given that the severity of the impact to the global economy is still unknown in February, it has planted fear in global investors. The first to react to such occurrence would be the stock market. Stock prices, in the anticipation of a business downturn, declined as investors sell their shares. We have seen a sharp decline in stock prices this year. To date, the World Stock Index and the US stock market has declined 15% and 13% respectively. Meanwhile, locally, the Philippine Stock Index also fell and bottomed to a low of 4,039 on March 19 intraday. While it has recovered afterwards, local stock prices are still down by 28% from the start of the year to April 20. This is just a quick glance on markets. You will see how asset prices have moved from the start of the year to the peak of uncertainty, which is the announcement of ECQ leading to today. There might be differences in the year-to-date changes only because of the date of the data. So how will economies combat COVID-19? Life is for lifelines. According to the IMF, continued efforts is needed to contain the virus and support health systems. It is critical to provide affected people and economies with large, timely, and targeted measures. And that includes wage subsidies, extended unemployment benefits, adjusted loan terms, while reducing stress to the financial system. Meanwhile, our own central bank governor, Ben Diokno, have likened monetary policy tools to medical equipment that facilitate stable conditions for a patient, while fiscal measures are the medicine that hastens recovery. In an economic crisis, fiscal and monetary measures must be swift, targeted, and complementary. Whether it be from a global or local perspective, a combination of health responses, fiscal measures in the form of government aid, and monetary or liquidity support from central banks is needed in order to suppress the damaging effects of the pandemic. In the global context, central banks and governments have reacted more quickly and forcefully than during the GFC. In order to avoid what is now a recession from turning into a depression, governments are setting aside about 8 trillion US dollars in fiscal measures and massive monetary measures in order to keep companies running and people employed. In order to afford this huge stimulus, central banks should have anticipated the looming impact of COVID-19 to the economy and ensure that there is enough liquidity or cash buffers to support the government, businesses, and households. As shown in the graph, the Fed has already implemented an emergency rate cut on March 3, weeks before the lockdown. It effectively lowered the cost of borrowing even before the mad scramble for increasing cash and panic buying. This move sent the 10-year interest rate, dollar interest rate, and it's represented by the red line, to a low of 0.5% on March 5. After which, the Fed has reduced interest rates again on March 15 to a record low of 0 to 0.25%. These moves by the Fed allowed the US government to announce a $2.3 trillion package. And this includes one-time tax rebates to individuals, expansion in unemployment benefits, food subsidies for the most vulnerable, loan facility to avoid bankruptcies. Looking back at the graph, the stock market, represented by the purple line, only recovered after the second interest rate cut. This is because investors were somehow relieved that businesses and the rest of the economies will be supported. This is important to investor sentiment, as it somehow reassures them that the companies they invested in may not suffer bankruptcies. The same story can be told in other major economies. And it sounds familiar too in the local setting. In the Philippines, the BSP cut interest rates in February, not because of the threat of the virus, but because inflation rate was low. After the lockdown has been imposed, the BSP cut the policy rate twice, sending the borrowing cost to an all-time low of 2.75%. This liquidity support will enable the government to implement its 290 billion fiscal measures, which includes food subsidies, healthcare worker protection, SME loans. And for us households, it gives us a reprieve in our loan payments, meaning we have this grace period to stretch our budgets in order to purchase basic needs during this time. However, as you know, the local financial market reacts faster than the stimulus. The red line, the 10-year peso interest rate, shot up defensively after the ECQ was announced. It went to as much as above 5% at the time. But immediately after the first hike in March, interest rates declined. As of April 20, the 10-year benchmark is at 3.7%. Meanwhile, as seen in global stocks, the Philippine Stock Index rose as investors are reassured of government efforts to address the crisis and partially cushion the significant impact on the economy. Meanwhile, those massive budgets to combat the pandemic are not readily available cash in the system. Hence, central banks need to lower interest rates so that the government can borrow at affordable rates too. In our case, the government can tap the BSP and the public in order to fund the budget shortfall. It is not only the government that is helping the public deal with the crisis. Several big corporations have already pledged support. But apart from donating and sharing our blessings to frontliners and to the less fortunate, all of us are part of the lifeline. Remember the diagram earlier on the economy? Households, by virtue of us still consuming, We help keep the economy running. Remember, we contribute 74% of the economic growth. Not only are we spenders, we are also lenders. Our money in the bank is used to lend to companies and the government. If we upgrade our savings accounts to investments, buying shares of stocks or bonds should continue to support financial markets. In return, a sound and strong financial system will generate us returns from our investments. Liquidity ensures cash is available to support business activity and consumer spending, and using this liquidity to expand production, secure jobs, and ensure a healthy population. Liquidity enables productivity to run and grow the economy. We have yet to answer the ultimate question though. Is the end in sight? T is for timeline of recovery. Economic downturns in the past have been followed by periods of recovery. We have presented in the earlier slides forecasts of the IMF in terms of a rebound in growth. The time frame and the magnitude of recovery is still a debatable topic as these are just projections. We want to illustrate the types of recovery analysts are predicting or projecting. A U-shaped one, as we've seen in the 90s during the Cold War period, can be described as a modest recovery. The dip or the base of the U can be deep or shallow, but a short period of stagnation can be seen before the rebound happens. Meanwhile, a V-shaped recovery can also be called the best case scenario as the downturn is accompanied by a sharp recovery. This is exhibited during the GFC when monetary support by major central banks allowed affordable access to cash for banks and economies affected to recover quickly. An L-shaped one simply shows a stagnant economy for a longer period. Post-GFC, many developed countries struggled to grow on slowing demand from their respective economies. The time of recovery may be uncertain as we struggle with the new normal, but a concerted effort from both the public and government is needed to get there. Apart from the government ensuring the availability of medical supplies for mass testing, institutionalizing a system of contact tracing, and providing hospital beds, a change in behavior is necessary to facilitate an improvement in public health. The call to stay at home and think about the number of people you may infect is real. And as mentioned in the earlier sections, the government's fast and sizable response is needed in order to support the economy and its citizens. And it's not an easy feat. But among the many considerations to carry out these programs, funding is essential. The central bank has to make liquidity accessible to the government and private sectors to ensure minimal disruption in the financial market and necessitate the smooth flow of goods and services in the economy. I hope it has been a very informative session so far. H is for how to cope. While the next speaker will be able to explain further the points in this section, I would just like to highlight what productivity is. Among the several definitions, this is the one that encompasses even the economics definition. Since in economics, we always say there's no free lunch in this world, productivity ensures you have something to offer. In colloquial terms, ano ang ambag mo? It doesn't even have to be in a big way. You can start with your own families by assessing where you are in terms of your physical, emotional, mental, and financial health. They say you have to see the good in you, give back to yourself by seeing areas of improvement in order to give more to the world. You can take advantage of some opportunities online to learn more. I'm sure you guys are doing that, right? We have to learn to develop new skills, discover talents. It's a joke nowadays that the audition for MasterChef will be a blockbuster. I myself signed up for a free online class at Yale. Harvard has more free offerings. Filipinos are very creative and resilient in times of crisis. Innovation is in our blood. One of the recipients of the government's 2,000 peso cash aid was a tricycle driver, and he used it to start a barbecue business. In an interview, he said his income nowadays is 1,200 pesos a day. I know some of us have already started online food selling. Hopefully, we see pockets of opportunity here and there. Opening an online account for investments is a good idea, while stock prices are still cheap. Innovating ourselves will always save the day. I know that we've covered a lot already, but here's our key takeaways, our health notes to remember. Some households are adapting to the ECQ, thank you, technology, but the majority needs more than that. Economies around the world, including the Philippines, will take a hit, but it will recover. These are abnormal times. COVID-19 is a public health crisis, not a financial one, but it has significant impact and would require a multi-pronged approach. These lifelines are thrown by the government by injecting liquidity and supporting the economy. The private sector by means of donations, protecting its employees, lending, consuming, and the private sector includes you. You know these lifelines are on track because the financial markets are reacting positively. The timeline is uncertain, but recovery will depend on a coordinated response, public health, plus liquidity, plus government aid. How to cope includes helping yourself find opportunities for growth as productivity saves the day. While we have checked all the letters in health, it is important to note that health is just health if you are not in it. I end this presentation with one of my favorite author's quotation. You can, you should, and if you're brave enough to start, you will. That ends my presentation today. Thank you, and we'll entertain questions later on.
Thank you, Miss J. We were getting a lot of questions. I think people are really amped up to. I guess they have a lot of questions. We're now on day 39 of the lockdown, and it's good that you were able to touch on both personal and national economic concerns and tie everything together, and also share about the roles that we play, even if sometimes we feel we are not doing anything, we are helpless. So yeah, as I mentioned, we see your questions in the Q&A, everyone, and also we will have time after our next presenter to answer these questions. So just hang in there and we'll have a more robust discussion after. Okay, so all right, everyone, it is my pleasure to introduce our next speaker for today. He is the former Chief Agency Officer of AIA Philam Life. He is a results-oriented financial service professional with 20 years of experience and expertise in financial services management, relationship building, new business development, sales, and strategic planning. Apart from that, he is also a certified investment solicitor, a registered financial consultant, and one of the top-tier multi-awarded agency leaders of AIA Philam Life. This afternoon, he will share with us practical advice on how we can take advantage of our current situation and how we can protect ourselves and our family from life's risks. Let me turn you over to Mr. Eric Nicdao.
Hello, good morning. Thank you, Trish, for your warm welcome. Hello, everybody. Good morning. First and foremost, before we begin, I'd like to say thank you to Miss J. Let's give J a virtual clap. Virtual clap for sharing with us her talent and her time, her generosity to share with us what's happening to our economy and what we have to do about it. And I'm sure it was very informative for everybody. So to Jay, many, many, many thanks. And I'm so happy to be here today. I'm sure you're happy as well. At least pag buhay tayo ay dahilan na yon para maging masaya po tayo. And it's really an honor to be here. I'm so excited because I see so many familiar names in the chat box. And I'd like to also say hi to all of our esteemed guests who are watching right now. Thank you so much for giving us your time. And it's really our hope and our wish that you be blessed through this event. So let me start off. Jay talked about the economy. I just want to show you this slide. I've been in the financial services business for 25 years. Tagal na, no? Doon ho naubos ang buhok ko. 25 years. And I've seen a lot of crises, no? Meron hong financial crisis. One of the worst would be the global crisis in 2008. And another worst one would be the Asian financial crisis. Meron rin hong peace and security crisis. Yan ho yung 9/11, nung sumabog ho yung dalawang Twin Towers. Meron hong Oakwood Mutiny, local crisis, EDSA 1, EDSA 2. Naku, naabutan ko ho lahat yan talagang nga naman. Pero bata pa lang ho ako, 30 lang ho ako. Ha? Kidding aside, there is also, health crisis. There was SARS and then there's MERS. And I only want to say this, all crises will pass. Lilipas rin ho lahat. But we have to be prepared to pass through each crisis. Alam niyo, sabi ng iba, this too shall pass. Ang problema, this too shall pass, ang ginagawa nila, they will wait for it to pass. Minsan kasi matagal bago dumaan yung bagyo. I think it's better to say, this too shall pass and I shall pass through it. So let me go to my next slide because my topic is about guiding us through the big changes in the economy right now. But this is a faith statement. And when I say faith statement, I believe in this, that only God can really guide us through the big changes in life. Alam nyo, kahit na anong tibay natin, minsan dumarating ang panahon na talagang bagsak ka. Lalo na yung mga nagkakasakit at nag-iisa sa ospital. Lalo na yung namamatay na nag-iisa. Mahirap ng daanan yon. But this is my faith statement. You're not alone. Jesus is with you. God is with you. And He will see us all through this. He will see us all through this. So let's begin. Let me begin by saying how do we go through the changes? I'm very happy because Jay ended with this. And I'll start off my sharing with this one. Put your biggest investment in what matters most. Ang sabi nila, one of the good things about this COVID issue, it has taken out the non-essentials in our life and has brought us back to what is essential. Alam nyo, dati, we are party, gimmick club. No? Now, there's no socializing, but we can socialize with our family. What is essential in our life? And I want to say, they always say, at ako, naniniwala po dito, a true wealth of a person, the true worth of a person is who he is when everything is stripped away from him. Kung wala na siyang pera, wala siyang fame, wala siyang popularity, but who he is after all of those. Simply put, sasabihin ko rin po ito, sa kahuling-hulihan, no, God will not look at our bank accounts, but He will look at our heart accounts. So, it's important. This is like a retreat. Parang retreat ho ito 40-day retreat na nga You have to go back to building your mind. I always say that every morning we are an empty glass. And we have to fill this glass with good thoughts, good things. No, Saint Paul, I think in Philippians said, fill your mind with noble things, good things from above. Kasi marami sa atin, paggising, kukunin na ho yung cellphone, kukunin yung iPad, at ang unang ipupuno sa kanilang basong walang laman ay puro nega. Titignan ko ilan na ba namatay, ilan na ba ang nagkasakit, titignan yung mga fake news. Naku, lalo na ang fake news. No? Fill your mind with good things. What have you read during the last 40 days? Have you read a new book? Yun Fill your mind, have a sound mind. Number 2, healthy body. Marami sa atin nagsasabi, wala akong oras para mag-exercise. Ngayon ho, nako, Diyos ko, Panginoon, lahat ho ng oras meron ka. At kung hindi ka pa nag-exercise, tanungin mo sarili mo. No? This is a time to love your body, to give time to your body, to exercise. Kahit maliit na maliit lang ang bahay mo, kahit sa banig lang kayo mag-exercise, okay na yon. Basta pawisan ka. 20 minutes a day, take care of your body, exercise, get some sunlight, drink good water. No? Drink a lots of water. Marian ho akong kakilala, hindi uminom ng tubig, puro soft drinks. Today, he has a kidney problem. Ang sabi nila, take care of your body today, or else the hospital will take care of it tomorrow. Let's go to a strong spirit. No? Spirit, Very important. In the end, it's not only about us, it's also our relationship with a higher being or our creator or whatever force you believe in. But for us, it's really believing in God. We have to reconnect with God. Kaya sinabi ko nga 40 days of retreat po ito eh. Kasi nga it gives us time. When you wake up, don't reconnect with your cell phone, don't reconnect with other people in Viber or WhatsApp or Messenger. First and foremost, you have to take your red telephone and have a direct dial with our God. And spend some time just to pray inner spirit. Ang sabi nila, a man is like a candle. A man without a spiritual life is like a candle without fire. No, we have to build our spiritual life. And then, of course, last, a solid relationship with our family. Very important. This is a time to build. Maraming nagsasabi sa akin, alam mo, may nagsabi sa akin kaibigan, work from home kami. And parang lalo ako nawalan ng oras sa pamilya ko. Ay, my friend, there's a problem there. You have to give time to your family and build solid relationships. Because as I said, in the end, financial wealth or financial well-being is rooted in your well-being. Very important. My next point, redefine your goals. Where are you going? Alam nyo, ang buhay natin is a journey. And it's like ways. When we do ways, the first thing we do, plug in your location or your destination. You have to know where you're going, no? Or else, kung saan ka mapupulot, pupulutin ka sa kangkungan kung wala kang goal. Marami sa atin gustong mag-retire pero hindi alam kung kailan. Marami sa atin gustong mag-ipon pero hindi alam kung magkano. Marami sa atin gustong magkaroon ng educational program halimbawa pero hindi alam kung kailan o magkano, anong eskwela. But you have to be specific in your goals. You have to have smart goals, as they say. And it's just like every day when you wake up. When you wake up, you have to have clear goals for the day. Alam nyo, 40 days na ho, sa gagaya ng sinasabi ko, yung lumipas na ECQ. Dapat every day, like for example, when you wake up, this is my goal. I'll exercise 20 minutes a day. I'll spend 30 minutes of time to read my baby some good books, etc. But you have to have a goal. That's why they say, this is a very simple slide that will show you how to make goals. Simpleng-simple lang. Goal 1, and then maybe know your why. Bakit mo gusto yan? No? And then what is the total cost? How much it will cost you? And then when do you want it to happen? So this is a very simple slide that will tell you kung ano-ano ba talaga ang pwede mong gawin. Okay? So, goals can be medium or short-term goals, 1 to 4 years, medium-term goals, 5 to 9 years, and then long-term goals. Okay? But you have to have goals. Letter E, establish an emergency fund equal to around 6 times your monthly expense. Alam nyo, ang sinasabi nila, ang emergency fund, parang lifeline po natin to. Ito yung kinakapitan natin pag wala na ho tayong makapitan. Kung wala kang emergency fund, sa unang-una pa lang, wala kang kakapitan. The sad thing is, nilagay ko ho yan sa ilalim, natuklasan po ng isang survey na Filipinos, if they lost their jobs tomorrow or suddenly fall ill and cannot work, their savings would only last for 2 months before they run out of money. True or false? Siguro masasabi nyo siguro, oo nga, no? When the lockdown began, pag wala kang emergency fund, unang buwan pa lang, hirap ka na. Ngayon, at tapos na yung unang buwan, kung ang emergency fund mo ay good for 1 month, nako, second month pa lang, mag-iisip ka na. Wala ka ng peace of mind at saan ako kukuha. So it's very important to have a emergency fund. At dinalagay ho yan. Kita nyo yung picture ko. Yung picture ko may susi. Ibig sabihin, bawal galawin, bawal galawin. Dapat nakatabi yan. Para kung emergency, doon ka lang kukuha. Ang mahirap kasi sa akin, nangyayari rin. May emergency fund ako, nakakita ako ng magandang telebisyon. Nako, Diyos ko, sabihin ko, ay kukuha muna ako dito para pan-TV ko. Mali. Dapat emergency is for emergency. So let's say your monthly expense is 20,000. You have to have at least 120,000 or at the minimum 3 months emergency fund. Kung 20,000, at least 60,000 ang naitabi mo. Okay? So, marami nang sasabi ho sa akin, nako Eric, wala na akong walang natitira eh. Walang natitira. So, my best advice is always distinguish between needs and wants. It all boils down to proper budgeting. Okay? Proper budgeting. At ang example ko ay toothpaste. Wala ho kong ninenegosyong toothpaste o wala ho kong inaangat na toothpaste. Pero ang sample ko po, patawarin niyo po ako, ay Colgate. Ang Colgate po, basic ha. Yung pag nag-toothbrush ka, ayos naman. 50 pesos ang sabi nila. Pero yung iba, ang gusto, with fresh confidence. Ibig sabihin, pagka ngumiti ka, yung cooling effect ha, para kami refrigerator sa bibig, ano, para kami refrigerator at malalamigan yung sarili mo at yung kausap mo. Na 59 ho yan, 59. Ngayon, may iba naman. Ang gusto, total charcoal deep clean. Naku, hindi ko alam kung saan nila nakuha tong idea na to. Pero, kumbaga, nagtututbrush, parang may uling. Sabi kasi nila, nakakaputi po yung uling eh. Pero yan, 75 pesos po yan. 75. Ngayon, kung ang gusto mo, yung toothpaste mo, wala ho akong sinisira ang toothpaste, ito'y sample lang. Ang toothpaste mo, paggising mo sa umaga, ay fresh pa rin ang hininga mo. Kasi tayo, pag nagising sa umaga, madalas amoy panis eh, di ba? Amoy panis yung ating hininga. So ito, ang gusto niya, fresh pa rin. Ayan, ang dentiste. Dentiste. All night long. Talagang nga naman, all night long. Hindi babaw ang hininga mo, pero 300 pesos yan. Anong sinasabi ko? From the basic 50 pesos to 300, ay bay, nakatipid ka na dapat ng 250 pesos dyan. And these are all a difference between needs and wants. All right. Ang sabi ko sa Biblia, divide your portion to 7 or even to 8. For you do not know which misfortune can occur on earth. Alam nyo, 3,000 years ago, sinasabi na ho sa atin yan, magtabi ka ng emergency fund mo dahil baka may mangyaring hindi ka nais-nais sa buhay. Ang next point ko po, protect your main asset. And your main asset is yourself. Marami ho sa atin, we protect our house, we protect our cars, may car insurance, may house insurance. Lahat ho ng klase ng insurance meron, pero nalilimutan i-insure yung sarili. Very important. And they say proper planning is planning for the best or expecting the best, but also planning for the worst. Alam nyo, wala pa ho akong kinakausap na construction worker o contractor or architect na pag naggawa ng bahay, hindi naglalagay ng pundasyon. O kaya pag gumawa ng building, hindi naglalagay ng fire exit. Lahat ho ng marurunong magtayo ng gusali, lagi ho ang unang-unang gagawin, foundation. No, hindi ho yung foundation ng mukha, kundi foundation ho ng building. And the bigger the building, the deeper the foundation, the more solid the foundation. Yan ho ang sinasabi natin. If you have big dreams, you have to have a big foundation of protection against anything that might happen. I always say, the family's best life policy are the parents alive and healthy. Kapag buhay ho ang magulang, alam nyo, magpupursige tayo, gagawin ho natin ang lahat upang ang ating mga anak ay mapursige natin at madala natin sa magandang kalalagyan. Ngunit, ang problema, ang sabi nila, life has a big if in the middle. Marami hong pwedeng mangyari na hindi naasahan, na hindi natin gustong mangyari. No? And kaya nga sinasabi ng Biblia, teach us to number our days that we may gain wisdom of heart. Marami ho kasi sa atin, hindi natin nakikita yung big if in life. Kaya I made a simple diagram so that we can better understand. Parang tayo to, inaabot ho natin yung ating mga panaginip. Okay? And that makes life beautiful for us. Why is life beautiful? Because it's all about love. We have dreams because we love our family. And because we love our family, we work hard. And we work hard, we have income. Alam niyo, hindi pwedeng tanggalin rin sa equation yung income eh. Because income helps us achieve our dreams for our family. But as they say, life has a big if in the middle. At yung if ay yung letter E. Letter E po ay emergencies and eventualities. Yung hindi inaasahan, emergency. Eventualities, wala kang control kahit na anong mangyari. Wala kang control, nangyayari eh. Minsan maliligo ka lang, nadudulas ka. Minsan naman, nasa karsada ka, tatawid ka lang, may mabubundol sa'yo. Wala kang magawa. Eventualities. Okay? And some of the eventualities are critical illness, disability, for example, and untimely death. Pwede hong mangyari yan. And when this happen, you lose your income. And when you lose your income, you lose your dreams. Kaya mahalagang mahalaga ho yung sinasabi natin, you have a plan B. Huwag lang puro plan A. Ang plan A, yan ho yung plano natin na mapaganda ang buhay ng pamilya natin. Pero baka pwede rin na hindi matupad ang plan A. Kaya kung hindi ho matutupad ang plan A, mahalaga ho merong tinatawag na backup plan or plan B. At alam niyo ho, since I represent Film Life, si Film Life po is an expert in creating plan Bs for people. With Film Life, pwede ho tayong maglagay ng protection against hospitalization, pwede tayong maglagay ng protection against critical illness, at pwede tayong maglagay ng pader, protection against untimely death. And when this happens, you protect you insure your income. No, yun ang mahalaga eh. Hindi natin mapipigilan yung pwede mangyari sa atin, but we can insure our income. And when our income is insured, our dreams remain. Letter A, gusto kong sabihin, allocate and earmark your money. Ano ibig sabihin ng allocate o earmark? Alam nyo, minsan, pagka may babuyang ka, ito'y lumang style na to. Pero para malaman mo kung ano-ano yung baboy mo dyan, kasi pare-pareho na maitsura ng baboy eh, ginugupit ho yung tenga, hindi ba? They cut the earmark. Earmark your money ang tawag dyan, no? Earmarking. So allocate your money for a particular purpose. Si Dave Ramsey, hindi ho'y nagluluto, pero ito ho'y financial advisor and very good financial coach in the US. Sa kanya, simple lang eh. Parang envelope system. Sa envelope, ilalagay mo yung pang grocery mo, pang damit, pang recreation, at yun lang yun. Ina-allocate mo na. Yung mga matatanda ho natin, mga ninuno natin, lola at lola, minsan ginagawa nila po yan. Hindi ba? Nilalagay nila sa mga sobre. Ang misis ko po, yan ho ang ginagawa. Hindi ho lola, misis ko, mahal ko ho misis ko, pero yan ho, alam nyo, matipid ang misis ko and she knows how to budget. And that's very important. And why is that important? Kasi minsan, pag ang pera mo, sama-sama sa isang envelope, sama-sama sa isang balde, sama-sama yung pang recreation, education, retirement, etc., medical, kapag may kailangan ka, kukuha ka ng tabo, sasalo ka ngayon sa balde mo, nasasalok mo pati yung pang education, pang recreation, pang vacation, day-to-day, lahat nandun eh. Kaya minsan, kapag malubha ang sakit, critical illness, nauubos ho yung pera. Kaya ako, ito, nabasa ko ho ito. Ang sabi nila, for a moderate case, ang kailangan mong ihanda, 1M. Ay nako, help us Lord. Malaking pera yan. 1M, hindi basta-basta yan. Ang sabi nila dati, before April 14, ang PhilHealth raw, sinasagot niya lahat. Pero natuklasan ng PhilHealth na talagang magastos ang sagutin lahat ng may sakit ng COVID. Kaya naglagay ho sila ng parang proposed rates. Kapag mild pneumonia, ang sasagutin nila up to 44,000. Pag moderate pneumonia, hanggang 143. Severe pneumonia, 333. Critical pneumonia, lampas ho kasi 1,000,000 to. Pag critical 786,000. Ang ibig sabihin, magastos ho ang magkasakit ngayon. Pero alam nyo, ang COVID, hindi ho yan ang number one fatality or number one killer natin. Ang dami hong mas malaki ang fatalities like kidney, cancer, mas malalaki yung halaga niyan, no? Kaya very important, protect your main asset and allocate and earmark your money. Ano ba ibig sabihin ko ng allocate? Kumbaga ito sweldo mo. Ito ang pera mo. Maglagay ka na ng 5%, halimbawa sa education, maglagay ka ng 10%, 5% pang medical, magtabi ka ng mga 5 to 10% pang insurance, magtabi ka ng mga 20, 15% pang retirement. Yung maiwan, bahala ka, gastusin mo. Bahala ka, sa'yo yan eh. Pero nagtabi ka na, naglaang ka na para sa hinaharap mo o para sa kinabukasan mo. Kaya nga, you create different buckets for different needs to ensure that you are spending for the proper purpose. Ano ibig sabihin nun? Nagtabi ka, you earmark your money, so naglagay ka para sa short day-to-day, para sa mga revolving fund mo, bangko ho yan. Ito, medium to long-term education. Maghanap ka ng programa na pwede mong paglagyan pang edukasyon. Maghanap ka ng programa pang retirement dahil ito long-term na long-term to. And then, maghanap ka ng programa na pwede mong kapitan kapag nagkasakit ka pang medical. Okay? My last point is letter R. Refer to an advisor. Alam nyo, hindi naman tayong lahat ay expert eksperto talaga sa financial management at saka sa financial health. Kaya mahalaga rin yung sinasabi na maghanap ka rin ng tao na mapagkakatiwalaan mo at sa tingin mo marunong at maaring tumulong sa'yo. Sa madalit sabi, parang financial coach. And then, ang next R ko, reduce your risk. Alam niyo madali lang naman mag-research no. Hindi lang naman I'm kasama ko po si PhilAm pero ang dami ho naman talaga mga insurance companies at ibang mga financial institutions sa pwede nyo ring tignan. There are a lot of programs that can help you prepare for the unexpected events in life. Number one, refer to an advisor. Alam niyo sa Biblia, ang sabi nila, the way of the fool seems right to him, but it is wise, and a wise man always seeks advice. Iba na yung naghanap ka ng advice. And this shows us the value of a financial advisor. Yung second point ko, reduce risk. Alam nyo, ang isang ginawa nitong COVID sa atin, it shows us, pinapakita sa atin na we are all vulnerable to risk. Alam nyo, ubuhin ka ngayon at sipunin, kakabahan ka na Ubo lang at sipon, ha? Kakabahan ka na kasi parang, ito ba yun? Magkaroon ka ng sa tiyan, alburuto sa tiyan, sumakit ang tiyan mo, kakabahan ka na Nangyayari po sa akin yun But the point is, we are all vulnerable to risk. It happens to us. And we are also aware today that our life really is limited. Like the Bible says, we are like grass that grows in the day and withers in the night. So ang isang pwede nyong gawin is to handle the risk well. Sabi nila, there are two ways to handle risk. One is accept the risk and the other one is transfer the risk. Yung accept the risk, ikaw na yon, sasagutin mo. Ang mahirap dito, pag ikaw ay nagkasakit, karga ng pamilya mo ang buong bigat ng risk. Yung transfer the risk, maghanap ka ng insurance company. In my case, as I always say, it's PhilAm Life. You talk to PhilAm and let PhilAm carry your risk. So ano ibig sabihin yan? Simpleng-simple lang ho. If you accept the risk, your family will carry the burden of risk. Ganyang kalaki ho yung risk, yung bilog na yan. Around 2 million ang kailangan, sabi lang ngayon, if you have critical illness. Kaya pag binasa nyo yung how much it will cost you if you get sick, ayan, nakalista ho yan. Okay? Ngayon, halimbawa si PhilAm, ang net worth po ni PhilAm is around 75 billion, ang net income 9 billion, total assets around 250 billion. PhilAm Life, or again, I'm not only talking about PhilAm Life, I'm open to all insurance companies. They have the financial muscle to carry your risk. So why not pass on that risk to the insurance company? In return, the insurance company will just have you carry the cost of security or the cost of peace of mind. Maliit lang po yan, mga 5 to 10%. Malaki na ho yung 15% of the total risk. Pero mas maigi na yung kargahin ko yung 10% kaysa sa 100% of the risk. So let me go back. Patapos na po ako. Ito ang aking gustong sabihin. Sabi ko maganda may plan B. Okay? Alam nyo, si PhilAm, meron ho siya magandang plano that can protect you from hospitalization. Ang tawag po doon, it's a wall that can protect you against daily hospital bills. Ang tawag po dyan ay AIA, Medical Assist. There is a wall that can help you against critical illness like cancer or kidney failure, liver cirrhosis. Yan ang mga kinatatakutan natin, stroke. But ang tawag ko dito sa pader na to ay AIA Critical Protect 100. And there is a wall that can protect you from untimely death. Ang tawag ko ng kumpanya namin dito ay AIA All-in-One. It protects you whenever you are in public transportation, gives you 3 times of your coverage. Now, when you have this, your dreams for your family continue to come true. So let me end by saying, or by going through the list. Number 1, put your biggest investment in what matters most. Number 2, redefine your goals. Number 3, have an emergency fund at least 6 times your monthly expense. Number 4, love yourself and love your family. Protect yourself. Allocate and earmark your money para alam mo kung saan nakalaan yun. And then lastly, refer to a financial advisor and reduce your risk. So, makikita nyo naman yung salitang gusto kong buuin. Prepare. Yan lang ho ang susi. to go through crisis. Inumpisahan ko at inumpisahan ni Jay by saying, these are abnormal times. How do we go through it? Preparation. Prepare your mind, prepare your spirit, prepare your heart. But most of all, you also prepare financially for it. And my letter E is, every day is filled with God's blessing. And it is our call to echo that blessing. May dalawang kwento ko. I hope you don't mind. Ang unang kwento ko, isang araw, sabi ng panganay ko, Pa, let's have dinner. Kain na tayo. O sabi ko, anak, sige, ihanda ko na yung ating hapunan. So pagbukas ko ng rep, hindi na ako nagluto kasi nung binuksan ko yung rep ko, abay, ang daming ulam naman eh. Ang tawag sa ulam, pangat. Alam niyo yung pangat? Pangatlong init. Pang-apat na init. Ininit ko. Abay, 6 na putahin na tira-tira namin, leftovers. Ha? 6. So sabi ko sa anak ko, it's time to go down, let's eat. Abay, pagbaba ng anak ko, tinignan niya yung mesa, tinignan niya gano'n. Tapos tinanong ako, Pa, what's for dinner? Sabi ko sa kanya, anak, ang dami